G'day mate, it's Holly here. Now this is guaranteed to be the most Australian video I've ever filmed. So shock horror, in case you didn't know, I'm from Australia. And probably one of the biggest parts of our culture in Australia is Bunnings Werehouse. Bunnings Werehouse! Now I'm a big fan of Bunnings. In fact, I got my wooden doors on that cabinet over there from Bunnings. Like, it's great. You can literally buy anything from there. And for everyone who doesn't know what a Bunnings is, it's basically like your Home Depot, like home renovation. Like, I'm gonna go get some wood and like some tools and like a screwdriver, but then they also sell things like sunbeds and umbrellas and plants. And if you go there on a Saturday, you can buy a sausage sandwich, which is basically just a piece of bread with a sausage in the middle. It's great. It's an experience. It's fun. You get a tasty snag. Like, it's great. Bunnings is great. So for those of you who didn't know, a couple of years ago, Bunnings released this like knockoff Lego building blocks version of a Bunnings Warehouse store, and these sold out so quickly. And like, I was looking at them a few months ago on eBay because I really wanted to get one, and they were going for like $200. It was insane. So then my sister messages me the other day and lets me know that Bunnings actually got them back in stock for 30 bucks. So I thought I would get one and try it out. Now, this is very clearly knockoff Lego, and honestly, I want to try and rebuild this using proper Lego and maybe just use like the printed elements, or if they're stickers, I'll use the stickered pieces and kind of recreate it and expand on it by making like a full car park, because this is a pretty empty base plate. But I thought it would be really fun to kind of just test out this knockoff Bunnings set. I don't want to call it Lego because it's not Lego. It's obviously a knockoff. It's not even Lepin. It's literally Bunnings bricks. Like, I'm actually so excited for this because honestly, Bunnings is one of my favorite stores, and like, it's a massive part of Australian culture. How could I not? So let's open this up and see what it's like. I really hope the quality is pretty good, and I also want to know what the size of these base plates are, because I don't know if I'm gonna need to buy some or if I can like get away with using these ones. I mean, ideally I don't want to mix too much Lego with this knockoff one just in case for some reason it breaks or snaps. I feel like it should be fine because, you know, it says quality blocks compatible with other brands. We all know which one that means. Now this set as well is recommended for ages 6 and up, and it has 168 pieces, which is honestly a lot less than I thought it would. I mean, I don't think it's gonna have an interior. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be empty. I mean, it's literally a knockoff set. But either way, I'm probably actually the most excited to open this set than any of my actual Lego sets that I've bought this year. So let's go see what it's like. It's really warm, but I feel like I have to wear this Bunnings hoodie for this. Now I'm really excited to crack this one open. Like, the box shows fantastic pictures. How could you not be excited for a set like this? All right, let's crack this open. Oh, wow. Like, this actually comes all bubble wrapped. That's pretty cool. Oh, there is a sticker sheet. Because if that's a spare, like, I'm gonna save that one for like the one I actually build out of Lego bricks. The colors are a bit off compared to Lego, but that's fine. Like, what is that weird flesh color doing? Okay, and then we've got our instructions, and we've got two what look like 32 by 32 base plates. I'm shocked. The manual is very small and not very descriptive at all. This looks like it could be kind of hard. I feel like as well, the fact that I have to put this over 2 base plates means that I kind of might actually have to break it. Like, what is this? I was expecting an instruction book, not whatever this is. I mean, there's so many steps on each one. I don't get how a 6-year-old could build this. I mean, I wish I had a 6-year-old accessible to me. That way I could get them to build it and see if they could actually build it. But unfortunately, I don't know any 6-year-olds. Actually, well, that's actually pretty solid. Like, that doesn't feel too different to a regular Lego brick. I'm honestly shocked. It's not like it's easy to snap on. I mean, this one's a bit scratched. Yeah, they're definitely a bit scratched, but I mean, oh, that sounded awful. It's not a horrible plastic. I mean, I thought it was gonna be so much worse. Right, so I'm gonna go sit and build this, and then we'll take a close look at it. I'll let you know if there's any issues in the building process. Fingers crossed there's not, because I just wanna have a nice Bunnings experience today. Bunnings Warehouse! So here is the Bunnings Warehouse building block warehouse thing all built up, and I was right. This thing was very hard to build. I honestly don't know how a 6-year-old would be able to do this because the instructions were laid out pretty poorly. poorly. Honestly, I found it easiest once the actual warehouse build was all set up, because they make you start with the garden center on the right, and it was just really hard to get an actual good look at how many studs in everything had to go. So that I found pretty challenging, and I did make quite a few mistakes. I also forgot 2 pieces when it came from the roof and things like that, and there was no numbered bags. It was just like 5 or 6 giant plastic bags that I just poured back into the box, and this is what we got. And honestly, the stickers make this. That is the entire reason that this thing looks good. Yes, I guess it does look like a Bunnings, but to me the scale's completely off. The sign and the warehouse itself look great. The garden house, everything's massive, and that's just a fact of the pieces that they've used. But then you get to this sausage sizzle as well on the side, and because of the umbrella and the sandwiches, it's all out of proportion. And when I was building this, I had the bright idea of when I do kind of rebuild it using actual Lego, what I'm planning on doing is taking a 64 by 64 base plate and building it on that. Then I can do a car park, I can reuse the Bunnings sign, and I'll just reuse that sticker sheet, although I feel like a lot of the colors are going to be off. And that's one thing I do have to give this set and like its knockoff Lego bricks, is that that green is authentic Bunnings green. It blends in with the stickers really nicely, and from far away, like you guys are looking at it right now, everything looks really good. So let's have a close look at it and kind of tell you where the quality really falls short for this. So the first thing I want to look at is the thing that's most out of proportion, and that is the little sausage sizzle area. Now, I love the fact that they have made like the Lego sausages into like this knockoff piece that's dark brown. I think this looks really great, and honestly, now that I think about it, it's really confusing to me why Lego hasn't done that. I get that like a typical like sausage or hot dog is supposed to be red, like that's what most people think of, but in Australia mostly you get a brown sausage, so like I'm surprised they haven't done it. I also feel like it would be a great thing to use in like trees and garden pieces like they have done in the Lego Harry Potter Forbidden Forest for this year, and overall I think it looks really good. The big problem is though, it just doesn't blend in with the rest of the set, because this is on more of a micro scale, and while I think everything besides, I mean, well, let's just cross out the greenhouse, everything here looks to scale. One thing I don't quite get though is why there's no entrance on like the actual front of Bunnings where you would walk in. I feel like they should have just made this 1 by 1 and then had a little hole there just so it made it look like a doorway, just like they've kind of done with like these car entrances on the side to the actual warehouse. And now that we're looking at the front as well, this brings up another problem that I have with this set. Now I know this is knockoff Lego, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm surprised at the amount of stickers that would overlap on top of multiple pieces. Like you look here, these are 3 different window pieces, and that sticker is supposed to stretch across all of them, which has caused me to have bumps and lumps. Same with this one up here, same with this one here, this one as well with the garden center. I stuck it on and then I realized I had to rip the entire building off to fix a mistake I'd made in the roof so that I could actually get the roof down, because that was just really hard to actually get down. But then when I ripped it off, because these are 2 separate pieces, it broke here and it just ripped off the sticker, and I didn't realize until I went to put it back down, which was a real shame. The same is also on the other side, except that one did not get damaged quite as much, but you can see a lot of these stickers stretch across multiple bricks, whether that be vertically or horizontally, and while I think the bricks look really good, it just creates a lot of problems when you're actually building this set. Now definitely my favorite area is the little timber section with these like wooden like plank stacks. It's just a bunch of tiles stacked on top of each other, and it looks pretty good, although definitely very long. I feel like these should have been separated into 4x4s, just because like I said, the scale is completely off. I mean, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I feel like this is a bit ridiculous. The grates on the outside are also used using these like window knockoff pieces, except the windows in these don't actually open. And one thing I do have to say about the quality of the set, the bricks do feel kind of good. They do scratch very easily, and they do feel kind of cheap. Not as cheap as I was expecting it to feel though, but it's definitely noticeable. One really nice inclusion to this set though is the inclusion of the little sign, because besides that little sign and the sausage sizzle, there is nothing on these front base plates. It just feels like a lot of wasted space to me, which is kind of why I want to try and build this on a 64 by 64, because this is made using 2 32 by 32. And at least in that case as well, I do have more depth, which is going to allow me to bring Bunnings up a bit higher, and I think a bit forward as well. Like ideally, I'm thinking maybe I'll raise up the white to 2 levels and then make the green maybe 4 or 5 bricks high. That's kind of what I'm brainstorming. It's gonna be an interesting task, and I'm excited to see how it turns out though. Then we get to the back of the warehouse, and you do get these massive stickers which just look amazing. And like I said, I'm really shocked at the quality of the stickers and how well they match this like knockoff Bunnings green. Like Bunnings green is very iconic. If you are Australian and you've been there, you know what Bunnings green is, and this is perfect. I'm really shocked at that. They did an amazing job. Then we get around to the garden center, and you do have more of these window pieces, and this is what I kind of mean by, once again, the scale. The flowers look massive, these bushes look massive, the tree, and this was honestly the hardest part to build. It's the first part you do build, and it was just really hard for me to actually count how many studs there were because the pictures on the instructions are just a leaflet. It was tiny. In fact, I'm not even completely sure that this is all correct, but you know what? It looks enough like a garden house, greenhouse, greenery area type of thing that I don't really mind. And that's pretty much it for Bunnings. There is literally nothing on the inside. It's completely hollow, which I'm honestly not surprised. Like, it's a $30 knockoff set. I didn't expect it to be amazing. Speaking of amazing though, one thing I'm not too happy with is how much this base plate on the left has bent. From memory, when I opened this up, it was pretty flat, and the one on the right is completely flat. Like, this is amazing quality, the one on the right, but the one on the left is just like peeling up. I don't know if it's gotten too hot and it's bent or what is actually going on, but it's really frustrating. Now overall with the Bunnings set, what is the market for this? I honestly don't know. I know it sold out last Christmas, like tons of people bought it. It was a really hot item, and it's back again this year, and I feel like it's going to go really quickly. I feel like this would be a really fun present, not for a kid, I don't think. This doesn't seem like it's something to be played with. Like, there's literally not much you can do, especially in the scale and the size of it. But if you know someone that works at Bunnings and is into Lego or like construction or majorly into like tools or anything like that, I feel like this is the main market for this. And as an Australian fan of Lego, like, this is a really fun thing to have in my collection. Like, I know that it isn't Lego, but it's just the whole concept of it. Like, never did I think we would get an official Bunnings like building set. It's ridiculous. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this Australian regional exclusive knockoff building blocks set from Bunnings. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time guys, I'll see you later. And remember, if you find an identically stocked item,
we'll beat it by 10%.